Showers and storms ramping up today as we get into more rainfall moving through the forecast area. More about that in just a moment.
And the Supreme Court weighs in on PFAS in the state. We'll have their update for you. President Trump arrives at the NATO summit as the Middle East conflict takes center stage. The latest from the Netherlands ahead. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandra Carter on this Wednesday, June 25th. We'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He is the busy man of the hour. What do we need to know today, Art? It seems like every day something new, huh?
Well, the thing is, you have to stay weather aware because sometimes it's surprising folks a lot about how much rainfall has been falling out of the sky. And now we're going to continue to see some impressive rainfall totals as we go through the next few days. In fact, over the next 7 days, we could see possibly up to 5 to 7 inches of rainfall in some cases. We'll also hold on to this. The localized flooding is also a potential here due to heavy rainfall. That will also mean, again, the river flooding, as you can see here, who and where. Well, we're looking at the Yellow River, the Kickapoo River, the Black River for minor flooding. Mississippi River is slow to rise to action for now, but we'll keep an eye on that going toward the weekend. Small creeks, watch for rapid rises, especially those, because those are a little bit closer to homes. So please, like I said, stay weather aware. A couple of prongs of rainfall are on the way. You can see them now, one going towards the Twin Cities, the other towards Dodge. In fact, you'll also get that going towards eventually Waterloo, eventually out to Prairie du Chien, and then that's all going to spill into Eau Claire and La Crosse. We're holding on to some cloudy skies, to partly cloudy skies right now for Eau Claire. They're slowly but surely increasing the cloud cover. You look at Black River Falls, looking pretty good out there right now. 68 degrees, a little bit on the cooler side than what we've been over the last few days. Holding on to this, Dubuque, Iowa, if this pops up, let's see if it will show up because I want to know if there's any rainfall there just yet. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm going to move on. We're holding on to current temperatures for you right now, 60s to the low 70s currently, but once we get into the forecast for the day, we're looking at temperatures in Eau Claire, 70 degrees, 79 in La Crosse, and down to the south, we're looking at those lower 80s in your forecast. Back to you, Alexandra.
All right, Art, and we are waking up to much drier conditions after yesterday's relentless rain. Here's what West Avenue in La Crosse looked like yesterday in case you missed it. Drivers having to navigate some pretty submerged streets. At one point, police even sent out an alert asking people to avoid the flooded roads.
One thing we really appreciate is when people don't drive through during the flood, because not only is it damaging to their cars, but it also pushes water up against our houses and into our garages and causes damage to our property too.
Nobody wants that. And a quick reminder for you to turn around, don't drown if you do approach flooded roads like these. A quick travel alert for you this morning. State Route 162 shutting down for some major road work today. That road will be closed from US 14 in Coon Valley to State Route 33 through November. Crews there replacing deteriorating bridges. WisDOT recommends using US 14, 61 and State Routes 27 and 33 to get around the work zone. And some global news to get to this morning. President Donald Trump is in Europe for NATO meetings today. CBS News' Jared Hill is tracking the latest developments.
President Donald Trump appearing with NATO leaders in the Netherlands, with Israel and Iran still top of mind. The ceasefire holding.
I think it was just a tremendous victory for everybody.
Now his frustration has turned to an initial assessment from his own intelligence community. The report says last weekend's strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear sites may have only set their program back a few months, according to 3 sources familiar with the contents. Officials have cautioned that the early assessment could change with more information.
I believe it was total obliteration. I believe they didn't have a chance to get anything out because we acted fast.
They're in bad shape. They are way behind today compared to where they were just 7 days ago because of what the president did.
A CBS News poll shows that a majority of Americans disapprove of the strikes against Iran, though there's a huge partisan divide. As tensions appear to be calming in the Middle East, they're growing on Capitol Hill.
The American people deserve to know the facts.
Democrats and some Republicans are demanding answers on President Trump's decision to launch strikes without consulting Congress. Classified briefings are now pushed to Thursday. Jared Hill, CBS News.
This morning, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said there's now an investigation to find out who leaked the contents of that preliminary assessment of the U.S. strikes on Iran. And stick with News 8 now for the latest on the Iran-Israel conflict. You can track all the breaking developments on air and online at news8000.com. The Senate could vote on Trump's massive budget bill as soon as today. GOP leaders are scrambling to secure support to pass it with a simple majority before Congress leaves for its 4th of July recess. The sweeping legislation would extend trillions in tax cuts, raise the debt ceiling, and cut Medicaid.
Cutting Medicaid, food assistance, childcare, making it harder for women to participate in the workforce. All to give tax breaks to people who already have access to all of these things.
The leader needs to get with the rural hospitals and he needs to satisfy their concerns and make sure that they can stay open.
Ahead of today's potential vote, the League of Women Voters is hosting a Medicaid forum at the Cleary Friends and Alumni Center. Tonight's event starting at 6:30. It'll help La Crosse residents understand how these proposed cuts could impact them. That'll be live streamed on the League's YouTube channel if you can't make it in person. The man accused of scamming a La Crosse Diocese official out of $86,000 is set to make his first court appearance today. 21-year-old Anas Vora allegedly used fake identities, claiming to be fraud investigators from U.S. Bank and Citizens Bank. He now faces felony theft and money laundering charges. He's being held on a $50,000 cash bond. The man accused of abducting pregnant teen Sophia Franklin wants to delay his federal trial. Gary Day is being held on a $2 million bond, facing charges including child enticement and child pornography. Prosecutors say he took Franklin, possibly pregnant with his child, from Wisconsin to Arkansas and Oregon. His attorneys got the July 11th trial delayed, with prosecutors not opposing the request. Former UW-La Crosse Chancellor Joe Gao has a court date set for June 2026. Gao is suing UWL after being fired for making adult videos and books. Officials say he used university equipment to do so. Gao wants his job back plus back pay from his termination. Wisconsin is facing an EMS shortage. State lawmakers are scrambling to try to fix it. News 8 Now's Allison Fergott takes a closer look at their plan.
New measures in the Wisconsin legislature are looking to strengthen the state's EMS.
Everyone is dependent on EMS.
It's a crucial service, but Wisconsin EMS systems are facing challenges. One of the biggest issues, finding personnel.
I don't know of any other job that you're required to have education and licensure and often asked to do it volunteer.
The situation is heightened in rural areas where services depend on volunteers and residents face longer transport times.
There's more time for the patient to get more ill if they're not getting appropriate care initially.
As Wisconsin's EMS reaches a critical point, the state's lawmakers are proposing new legislation to help.
We need to make sure that all communities, including and especially I will say rural communities, have access to emergency medical technicians.
One of the bills would create a program to reimburse the costs of initial EMS training classes, which can run in the hundreds and even thousands of dollars.
This training is not free. The state needs to step forward and provide greater tuition assistance.
We can lower that barrier to entry. We're going to get more people in the door.
The bills would also increase certain ambulance service reimbursements and encourage smaller EMS systems to collaborate. But the bills themselves are facing obstacles, despite having bipartisan support. Last week, the state Senate passed the tuition reimbursement bill, but did not include any funding in order to carry out the policy.
I really think that we as a legislature are making a mistake if we do not fund innovative policy to grow and enhance our local EMS assistance.
Republicans said they chose not to include funding in the bill because they have, quote, no trust in Governor Tony Evers' office. Reporting in La Crosse, Allison Fergott, News 8 Now, this morning.
And Senator Paff is hopeful that once the budget is finalized, there will be money set aside to fund programs created in those EMS bills. We'll keep you updated. Your drinking water, meantime, just got better protection from the Wisconsin Supreme Court. That court ruling 5-2. The DNR can keep requiring polluters to clean up toxic PFAS chemicals and other dangerous substances. In April, La Crosse closed its last well on French Island over PFAS contamination. Campbell officials say the ruling ensures communities forced to use bottled water like they are will keep getting the help they need.
It's the distance between the time when you discover contamination and the time when you can fully implement your long-term permanent solution.
The town of Campbell hopes to have its new municipal well up and running in 2 years, and Governor Evers praising the ruling, saying polluters won't have free rein to discharge harmful contaminants like PFAS without taking responsibility. UW-Madison, meanwhile, is directing all departments to reduce budgets by 5 to 7%. Administrators say that's to prepare for potential federal and state funding cuts. The proposed federal cuts could cost the school up to $130 million. State Republicans recently introduced a bill that would cut the budget by $87 million. Your La Crosse home may be worth more money. City assessors just updated property values for the first time since 2022. La Crosse's assessed values were too low at only 83% of market value when state law requires 90 to 110. The higher assessment doesn't automatically mean your property taxes will increase. Minneapolis Federal Reserve President Neel Kashkari came to La Crosse yesterday to hear directly from business leader. He says two major concerns dominated the conversation.
One of the things that came up loud and clear here was the challenge of affordable housing, both for workers and for businesses who want to bring workers to this region. And then childcare comes up a lot, comes up here, comes up everywhere. And so there are pockets here that are different than other regions, but I think overall the fundamentals are sound.
Kashkari says these town halls give the Fed a clearer picture of what's actually happening in local economies. And it is that time, Riverfest time. The hunt for the famous medallion is underway. We've got today's clue ready for it. Here it goes. North of the bluffs and far from shore, seek a place where children explore. The city shares a founder's name and parks within it stoke the game. And a reminder, the medallion is hidden within 10 miles of Riverside Park. It's not buried, it's on public property. The hunt has been a part of Riverfest tradition since the early 2000s, and if you find it, you will win a bunch of prizes. The time now is 6:11. Still ahead on your morning news. Economic confidence is dropping once again. Americans reveal how much money they say they need to feel stable, and Lincoln is recalling thousands of SUVs. Childcare costs spiked more than 300% over the summer. We'll tell you how much parents are really spending and some money-saving tricks you need to know. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. The WNBA is officially a moneymaker, with franchise values skyrocketing 180% in just 1 year. We know who we have to thank for that. The league's 13 teams are now worth a combined $3.5 billion. The newest team, Golden State, is leading that at $500 million, followed by the New York Liberty at $420 million. And Caitlin Clark and her Indiana Fever rounding out the top three at $335 million, proving that star power pays off. As you start to wake up, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the Te Ao Game Lodge. This is in South Africa. It does look like there's some game out there this morning. Beautiful sunny morning there, probably the afternoon. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is just after this break.
I did know that back pain, foot pain come along with the job of waiting tables, but since getting the arch supports from the Good Feet store, I have had no pain. I'm more positive. It's like opening up a whole new life, like sunshine coming out.
See how we can help you too at the Good Feet store.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Get the freedom to save. Get $4,250 cash allowance on this Silverado. Plus, $2,250 in trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP.
I'm Jordan Rudolph, and I'm the owner of Unity Fitness. We just won Best Gym in La Crosse and Best Personal Trainer in La Crosse for the Best of in 2025. As our mission to serve and help have a positive influence on so many people, we can't thank you enough, the voters, for having our back and helping us spread that mission forward into helping more people in the area.
Thank you so much for trusting us with your goals and for 10 years of support.
We view people as more than a before and after. To see if you're the right fit for us or if we're the right fit for you, head over to unityfitnesspro.com and book your free
Cut! I get it. Slow motion. Slow down geographic atrophy. But we don't need gimmicks. Stick to the facts. GA, the advanced form of dry AMD, can irreversibly damage your vision. But Syfovre is an FDA-approved eye injection that gives you the power to slow GA. Syfovre was proven to slow GA lesion growth over 2 years with increasing effect over time. It's the only treatment to slow GA in as few as 6 doses per year.
Don't take Syfovre if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye that may include pain and redness or are allergic to it. Syfovre can cause severe allergic reactions. Other serious side effects are eye infection and retinal detachments, severe inflammation of vessels in the retina, which may result in severe vision loss, wet AMD, eye inflammation, and an increase in eye pressure. Most common side effects are eye discomfort, wet AMD, small specks floating in vision, and blood in the white of the eye. Tell your doctor right away if you have any side effects.
Act on facts to slow GA. Ask your retina specialist about Syfovre. Nope, just the facts.
All right, dry conditions for now. We're not expecting rainfall until about the 10 o'clock hour today, getting into this morning. Then eventually we're going to roll right back into a low risk for severe weather. Areas south of Eau Claire getting down to Black River Falls, Winona, La Crosse, and Prairie du Chien are in that with a slight risk as you get into Iowa. We'll hold on for the day because a lot of that rainfall is coming out from Iowa. As you can see, the first batch already up to the north, getting into the Twin Cities later on today by the 10 o'clock hour, moving right into Eau Claire. You'll see some shower activity there with showers and storm activity trying to get into La Crosse for the morning. That will vault up to the north by Eau Claire and bring in some thunderstorm activity there for a bit going into the 2 o'clock hour. That also means that light rainfall for us as we go into it with maybe a component of storm activity going into some pretty heavy rainfall for La Crosse going through the morning hours or the afternoon hours. We'll also see as we finish out by 4 o'clock, most of that storm activity tracks eastward. So Sparta, Black River Falls, you guys are in that. The next batch comes in around the end of this the evening commute by the 8 o'clock hour. That continues to press back up into Eau Claire with showers and thunderstorm activity, but the heavier stuff is going to track both areas. You can see by the 10 o'clock hour, big storm activity working there with heavy rainfall, and that's going to continue to just roll right into the 11 o'clock hour, midnight, 1 o'clock, as we get into it 2 o'clock in the morning, right over La Crosse as it moves away from Eau Claire, and that means a lot of heavy rainfall coming in the overnight hours. Then in the early morning hours by 5, more showers and storms return back again over La Crosse, going to your morning commute, finishing out by the 8 o'clock hour. So a very wet commute for you tomorrow as well. We'll get into it as we finish that out and go into, again, drier conditions as we go into Thursday into the middle morning hours with eventually more storm activity coming back again as we roll right into your afternoon and evening commute to finish out your day. Back to you.
Time now for some morning consumer news. Americans are losing confidence in the economy once again. The latest consumer confidence index dropped more than 5 points to 93. Readings below 80 are what often signal a looming recession. Consumers had felt better after the U.S. and China agreed to lower tariffs, but now Middle East tensions are dampening optimism. How much money do you need to feel financially secure? A new survey says 45% of Americans think they need to make $100,000 or more to feel comfortable. A quarter say that would take $150,000, but 45% said they would feel financially free making less than 6 figures, with 34% saying $50,000 would be enough. The reality check is 77% of Americans don't feel completely financially secure right now. And Ford is recalling nearly 133,000 Lincoln Aviator SUVs. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says parts could become detached from the vehicle, increasing the risk of a crash. The recall affects model years 2020 to 2025. Owners can take their vehicles to a Ford dealership for a free repair. School is out for summer, and while it means fun in the sun for kids, it can also be expensive for parents as we try to juggle all that extra childcare. Data shows that costs skyrocket for parents during the summer. Jen Sullivan looks at how much parents spend and ways you can save.
Year-round childcare costs in the last 5 years have gone up 29%, according to a recent survey from Child Care Aware of America. Last year, the average price of childcare was more than $13,000.
Parents are having to juggle their kids being out of school, and now they're not in just after-school care. They're needing care all day long.
And summers can be particularly expensive for parents. Beth Klung-Piable works at Savings.com. She's also a mom and knows firsthand how challenging the summer months can be.
It takes a lot of planning, and if you can do that in advance, then it's really helpful.
Savings.com recently conducted a survey and found child care costs increase over 300% in the summer months for a typical family.
These parents told us that they set aside all year long, so a little bit out of every check goes toward those increased expenses in the summer.
There are a few ways parents can save. Lean on family and friends for help. Many camps offer scholarships. Most public libraries offer free drop-off programs. And check out the programs at your local YMCA. And if you're looking for free activities, most public parks have free splash pads, and some museums offer free days.
Kind of plan around, these are the free events that we're going to load our summer up with, and we're going to have a great time, but it's not going to break the bank.
And if you're looking to do a family trip, Klung Piable says hotels and airfare tend to be cheaper towards the end of August.
That's a look at your consumer news. We'll send it back over to Art now. He's got an update on our forecast.
All right, as we go into it here, we have a little bit of rain activity kind of moving closer to us gradually as we go into it here. You can see it there in Iowa, and eventually it's going to go to Prairie du Chien by the 10 o'clock hour this morning. Then another batch going to the Twin Cities. That's going to be hitting all the way over into Eau Claire later on this morning and this afternoon. That other batch back there by Omaha, well, that's going to come back again for La Crosse. We finish out your evening hours. You've got flood watch actually going out there. That's over in Jackson County there. We're also going to hold on to just south of Black River Falls. You also find yourself with the possibility of more rainfall on the way, and that area right there is going to be exacerbated with rainfall because that's going to be a lot of rain moving through that area over the next couple of days. Current temperatures for you right now in the 60s, the 70s in the forecast, 71 for La Crosse, 64 in Eau Claire, a little bit cooler up there. Holding on to highs for the day, picking up from 69 to about 70 for Eau Claire, 79 for La Crosse today. Low 80s you get down to the south by Prairie du Chien and Boscobel. We'll pick up again for going into possibly as we finish out the day, going into again the possibility of light risk of severe weather. As you can see, holding on to that rainfall, as I told you, across the Mississippi River going towards Eau Claire and Ladysmith up to the northern tier of the area, and that continues to lose out for that rainfall for Eau Claire. But hey man, it's okay. You guys are doing okay because you have more on the way. You can see that swinging through your area by the 2 o'clock hour, and then more of that comes back again by the 5 o'clock hour. So about several areas of rainfall for your hours of rainfall in your forecast. Meanwhile, La Crosse is taking a break, holding on to the 7 o'clock hour with showers and storms rolling in. That's going to be some heavy stuff between Red Wing, Winona, getting towards La Crosse. We go into the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock hour. You're going to see that rainfall really start to kick up and stay along this track, going all the way to the Black River Falls, right into Jackson County, as I showed you, where that rainfall is going to be, or the flood watch is. In fact, we'll see all this rainfall continuing as we go right through La Crosse by the 10 o'clock hour, going to the 11 o'clock hour, and beyond to the midnight hour, with that rainfall still rolling through that area. So this is where a lot of flooding is going to be exacerbated with all of this heavy rainfall in the forecast. Then we take a break, believe it or not, with more rain coming back again in that same similar vicinity, but also including Eau Claire along I-94 as well. So that's going to continue through your morning commute. And of course, it breaks down, giving way to about 8 o'clock in the morning, and that's going to be for Black River Falls again with heavy rainfall in the forecast. Then another break comes back again. We get into that early morning light shower activity picking up as we go right into, say, the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock hour. Then we dry it out with more rainfall coming back in for 6 o'clock from the south. That rolls right through as we go through Thursday and putting that rainfall heavily right back into Black River Falls in the same location once again. Over the next few days, again, my friends, this is what's going to happen for us as we go into it here. We're looking at the possibility of upper 70s to near 80 degrees with more low 80s for Thursday and Friday, 89 for Saturday and Sunday with more rainfall, as a 70% chance of rainfall, and a break finally for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Art. UW-Madison is bracing for major budget cuts. How much the university could lose and what departments are being told to slash ahead. And if you think water is the best way to hydrate, scientists say milk might actually quench your thirst better. We'll have more on this surprising research after the morning sports blitz.
Coming up at the Blitz, one area woman is off to a fast start in her MMA career. Hear from her after a golden finish down in Brazil, plus highlights from Game 2 of the Brewers Pirates series.
I do like knowing the person that's sitting across from my desk. I've formed a lot of relationships over the years based on trust. When I see the look on a member's face when I say, yes, this loan is good, you're good to go, it makes me happy. To me, being the team you can trust is honesty. When you do a loan with me at Firefighters Credit Union, like everything we do, it's not about the car, it's about you.
'Cause everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
It's summertime, and the Ford lineup is ready to step into the spotlight. Lights, summer,
action. Get great deals on your favorite Ford trucks. Then take advantage of the season. From the built Ford Tough F-150 to the 2024 North American Truck of the Year Super Duty, your local Northland Ford dealers are rolling out the red carpet with exclusive deals on America's best-selling trucks. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Don't wait. Last chance to get employee pricing plus more than $11,000 in total savings on a new 2025 F-150. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
News 8 Now and Dairyland Power Cooperative present the Community Calendar. For more information on these events, or if you'd like to submit an event, visit news8000.com.
How to bring generations together. Start by splashing together. Maybe go on a ride together. See stuff together. Or do something different altogether. Wisconsin Dells, come together. Go to wisdells.com and start planning your trip to the water park capital of the world today.
Red, white, and new. It's time to refresh your space for less at the King Furniture pre-4th of July savings event. Save up to 50% on an entire room of beautiful new furniture. Living rooms, bedrooms, dining, you name it. Find mattress closeout deals on overstocked inventory and special factory closeout Lazy Boy recliners at prices too good to sit out. Plus, when you trade in your old furniture, get a discount on new. We'll even deliver in Holloway for free. It's the King Furniture pre-4th of July savings event going on now.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, just last week, one Holman graduate traveled all the way to Sao Paulo, Brazil to represent Team USA for the Global Association of Mixed Martial Arts World Championship, and she came back with the gold. Her name is Jada Harshman, and she is a budding star in the sport of mixed martial arts. Harshman graduated from Holman in 2022, and since then she has fallen in love with the sport. She began wrestling for the Vikings in 8th grade and now has her sights set on big things inside of the cage.
I've never had something push me so much mentally and physically, but overall, like, it's creating me into a better person. It's teaching me discipline. It's teaching me to not only, love myself for myself, but also be able to teach other people too, because I'm the youth coach here. I do kickboxing and jiu-jitsu.
She's hoping more kids from the area can endure the success she's seen at just 20 years old. Jada won the senior division at 125 pounds down in Brazil, and she practices at Ironworks Training Center in Holman. Her coach and the owner of the facility, Nick Johnson, predicts Jada will be in the UFC in the next 3 years, and Jada can't wait to see what the future holds.
I definitely know I'm on my way there, just one step at a time. I may not know what a time is yet, but I tell myself is just keep on being you, push yourself, learn as much as you can, grow as much as you can, and just be the best Jada I could be.
Harshman will make her pro debut on Saturday, September 13th at the Three River Throwdown held at the Omni Center in Onalaska. Brewers looking to bounce back after a tough loss 2 nights ago, and this is how you do it. One man on for Joey Ortiz. He's going deep. 2-run shot puts Milwaukee out in front. Later in the 4th inning, 2 on for Caleb Durbin. Durbin gets all of this pitch down the line in left field and into the second deck for a 3-run shot. Brewers lead by 5. Very next batter, it's Ortiz again. For the second time, Ortiz gonna take a light jog around those bases as Milwaukee goes back-to-back. They would go on to win this one 9-3. I'll have a live report at noon from AmFam Field for Lacrosse Area Day, plus action from the festivities at 5, 6, and 10. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you back here tonight.
Buy more, get more during the summer sale at Home Furniture. When you spend $6.99 or more on furniture, mattresses, and area rugs, like this Eltman sectional for just $7.99, you'll get a $100 MasterCard rewards card. Plus, for every additional $1,000 you spend, get a $100 card for a total of up to $1,000 back in MasterCard rewards cards. And take 15% off clearance and floor models. Only during our limited time summer sale. Hurry in and get
his potential, that is. You see it even when he may not. You see that the things that spark his interest today will in time ignite the things he pursues tomorrow. And ultimately, help him reach new heights. All he needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities, unlimited opportunity.
First you hear it, then you feel it. That's the crunchy, melt-in-your-mouth feeling of Ritz Toasted Chips.
I did know that back pain, foot pain come along with the job of waiting tables, but since getting the arch supports from the Good Feet store, I have had no pain. I'm more positive. It's like opening up a whole new life, like sunshine coming out.
See how we can help you too at the Good Feet store.
If nagging, persistent joint pain has upended your life, listen, there's a solution for long-lasting relief. No surgery, drugs, or downtime. QC Kinetics uses a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue in your knees, shoulders, hips, and more. QC Kinetics targets the source of your pain, not just the symptoms. Thousands of patients have experienced life-changing results, and they're right here. Find out if you're a candidate for this game-changing therapy. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation.
When we say we're stuffing you like a sausage, we mean it. Mike and Kyle on the sunny side of 61, Sugarloaf Automotive. We buy and sell thousands of vehicles every year.
We ship nationwide every week. We buy vehicles nationwide as well. Here are a few examples of why we are the undisputed price leader. Mach-E's from $30,000 off new MSRP, Lincoln's from $15,000 off new MSRP, or how about late model Mustang convertibles from $16,995.
Get to the sunny side of 61.
Sugarloaf Automotive in Winona.
Join us on June 28th at Van Ripper Park in Onalaska.
Getting into your forecast. Current temperatures right now holding on to the 70s and some 60s in your forecast. As we get into the forecast, rainfall is coming in around the 10 o'clock hour. More about that in just a moment.
Right now this morning, your drinking water just got better protection. What the state Supreme Court just ruled on PFAS. Plus, President Trump arrives at the NATO summit as the Middle East conflict takes center stage. We'll have the latest from the Netherlands. And Sean Diddy Combs won't testify in his own defense. Closing arguments start tomorrow as the music mogul's fate heads to the jury. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter. On this Wednesday, June 25th, we'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. A lot of rain yesterday. What can we expect out there today, Art?
How about more of the same?
Okay.
All right, more of the same coming in. We're going to see that increase as well. We'll have more of that on Thursday as well. But first, we're looking at showers coming in for Eau Claire. They possibly have thunderstorm activity associated with that as well. So don't lose track on that today. So stay weather aware wherever you are today. Thunderstorm activity coming in once again in the early afternoon hours like we've seen over the last few days now, and that will continue as we go through the day. We'll roll into Thursday with the low risk of severe weather in the forecast, and of course we'll go right back into how this all shapes up. We go into tomorrow with more showers and storms. Maybe a little bit of break here and there as you get into the 10 o'clock hour and the 11 o'clock hour, but more storms coming back, rolling into the 12 o'clock hour, into your early afternoon and finishing out for your evening commute. So it's going to be a soggy day for you on Thursday. Pretty much the same for Eau Claire as well, where you're looking at least rainfall coming in from a 50% chance holding on to down up to a 70% chance once we get into the evening hours, and that's going to continue all the way through the midnight hour. Highs for Thursday, you're looking at 60s and some 70s and the middle 80s in your forecast. And the rainfall we're expecting as we go through Thursday, we are talking about 3 to 5 inches. You go to Vogue Field all the way up to Eau Claire, you're looking at 2 inches or less, about 3 to 5 from Winona down to La Crosse, and about 2 inches or so or less getting into areas down by Prairie du Chien and Boswell. Back to you, Alexandra.
And we are waking up to a much drier morning after yesterday's relentless rain. We'll take a look at what it looked like on West Avenue in La Crosse yesterday. Wow, drivers had to navigate some submerged streets you see here. One point, police even sent out an alert asking people to avoid the flooded roads.
One thing we really appreciate is when people don't drive through during the flood, because not only is it damaging to their cars, but it also pushes water up against our houses and into our garages and causes damage to our property too.
They've got some cleanup this morning, unfortunately. A quick reminder for you to turn around, don't drown if you do approach flooded roads like these. And a quick travel alert this morning. State Route 162 shutting down for major construction today. 'Tis the season for that. The road will be closed from US 14 in Coon Valley to State Route 33 through November. Crews are replacing deteriorating bridges there. WisDOT recommends using US 14, 61, and State Routes 27 and 33 to get around the work. President Trump is in Europe this morning for NATO meetings. CBS News' Jared Hill is tracking the latest developments.
President Donald Trump appearing with NATO leaders in the Netherlands, with Israel and Iran still top of mind. The ceasefire holding.
I think it was just a tremendous victory for everybody.
Now his frustration has turned to an initial assessment from his own intelligence community. The report says last weekend's strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear sites may have only set their program back a few months, according to 3 sources familiar with the contents. Officials have cautioned that the early assessment could change with more information.
I believe it was total obliteration. I believe they didn't have a chance to get anything out because we acted fast.
They're in bad shape. They are way behind today compared to where they were just 7 days ago because of what the president did.
A CBS News poll shows that a majority of Americans disapprove of the strikes against Iran, though there's a huge partisan divide. As tensions appear to be calming in the Middle East, they're growing on Capitol Hill.
The American people deserve to know the facts.
Democrats and some Republicans are demanding answers on President Trump's decision to launch strikes without consulting Congress. Classified briefings are now pushed to Thursday. Jared Hill, CBS News.
This morning, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said there's now an investigation to find out who leaked the contents of that preliminary assessment of the U.S. strikes on Iran. And stick with News 8 for the latest on the Iran-Israel conflict. You can track all the breaking developments on air and online at news8000.com. The Senate, meantime, could vote on Trump's massive budget bill as soon as today. GOP leaders are busy scrambling, trying to secure support to pass it with a simple majority before Congress leaves for its 4th of July recess. The sweeping legislation would extend trillions in tax cuts, raise the debt ceiling, and cut Medicaid.
Medicaid, food assistance, childcare, making it harder for women to participate in the workforce. All to give tax breaks to people who already have access to all of these things.
The leader needs to get with the rural hospitals and he needs to satisfy their concerns and make sure that they can stay open.
Ahead of today's potential vote, the League of Women Voters will host a Medicaid forum in La Crosse at the Cleary Friends and Alumni Center tonight. That'll help La Crosse residents understand how the proposed cuts could impact them. That starts at 6:30, goes till 8. It will be live streamed on the League's YouTube channel if you can't make it in person. Your drinking water getting some better protection from the Wisconsin Supreme Court. The court ruled 5-2. The DNR can keep requiring polluters to clean up toxic PFAS chemicals and other dangerous substances. In April, La Crosse closed its last well on French Island over PFAS contamination. Campbell officials say the ruling ensures communities forced to use bottled water will keep getting help.
It's the distance between the time when you discover contamination and the time when you can fully implement your long-term permanent solution.
The town of Campbell hopes to have its new municipal well up and running in 2 years. And Governor Evers praising the ruling, saying polluters won't have free rein to discharge harmful contaminants like PFAS without taking responsibility. UW-Madison is directing all departments to reduce budgets by 5 to 7%. Administrators say that's to prepare for potential federal and state funding cuts. The proposed federal cuts could cost the school up to $130 million. And state Republicans recently introduced a bill that would cut the budget by $87 million. Wisconsin's EMS system is in crisis, facing severe staffing shortages that could impact your emergency response. Officials say rural areas are hit hardest. Relying on volunteers and dealing with dangerously long transport times, lawmakers are proposing new bills to help, including one to cover the cost of EMS training.
Training is not free. The state needs to step forward and provide greater tuition assistance.
We can lower that barrier to entry. We're going to get more people in the door.
The bills would also increase certain ambulance service reimbursements and encourage smaller EMS systems to collaborate. Some medical news now. Dangerous diseases we thought were gone are making a comeback. A new report shows more than 100 countries saw childhood vaccination rates drop from 2010 to 2019. That decline set the stage for outbreaks of polio, diphtheria, and even yellow fever. Experts blame the COVID pandemic for slowing vaccination efforts as families avoided medical visits. Other factors, they say, include political instability, climate issues, and vaccine misinformation. If you're thirsty, you probably reach for water, but scientists say you're doing it wrong. Researchers from Scotland's St. Andrews University tested different drinks. They found milk is actually better for hydration. Good news for us here in Wisconsin. Milk's sugar, fat, and protein, they say, actually slow how fast fluid leaves your stomach, keeping you hydrated longer. Plus, milk has sodium, which acts like a sponge, helping your body hold on to the water. And we'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett now. He's got a look at our morning commute.
Okay, as we do this here, we're going back to the water vapor imagery. You can see the moisture that's coming our way again. One on top going towards the northern tier of the state here as well, going towards Black River Falls, eventually for the central portion, as well as La Crosse going into that, as well as Prairie du Chien. It will pick up this flood watch that is still in play with all this excessive rainfall that's moving in the forecast. We're going to be picking up more of the potential for flooding as we go closer to the weekend. Current temperatures right now holding on to the 60s, widespread to the low 70s, as I mentioned before. Feels a little bit on the balmier side as well, but again, temperatures and maybe and what it feels like out there is probably about a degree or two difference. Holding on to highs for today, we're looking at La Crosse hitting 79 degrees, 80 for Eau Claire, low 80s down to the south, and you can see 80 for Decorah. Rochester holding on about 77 degrees. We'll pick up most of that rainfall, as you can see, going to be mostly up to the northern tier of the area for a while, where they have a low risk of severe weather, and that is mostly just shy of Eau Claire to the south, and Twin Cities, you're in that as well. La Crosse is in a low risk for severe weather as well, and rainfall, as you can see, starts up to the north with the heavy stuff, and as that continues on, it continues to roll right in there, bringing another batch coming after as it goes from Rochester to Red Wing and Winona. That's some heavier rainfall. La Crosse gets in that mix as well, and that continues all the way to the 1 o'clock hour, and then continues to push northward as we go right into the evening, with another batch coming back again as we finish out going into the latter portion of tonight, with heavier rainfall continuing to just go over and over and over the same locations as we finish out going to the midnight hour tonight. Rainfall, we're looking at maybe 3 to 5 inches for La Crosse, about 3 to 5 inches for areas by Winona, and once you get into areas by Eau Claire, you're looking at maybe 2 inches or less. Back to you.
In your Morning Buzz report, the Sean Diddy Combs trial is headed to the jury, why the music mogul won't testify, and what happens next, coming up in your Morning Buzz report.
Get an 11% rebate on your post-frame project at Menards. For over 65 years, Menards has been the destination for post-frame buildings. Whether it's for protecting equipment or you just need a place to keep your toys, Menards has the post-frame building for you. Right now, save big money on White and Bright White Pro Rib Steel Roofing and Siding. 100 square feet is just $79.99 after 11% rebate at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
You know it's time to replace some windows, a patio door, an entry door, or all of them. The Board Store's provided skillful installation of quality products for thousands of your neighbors for 35 years. Double hung slider, casement, awning windows, double glazing, triple glazing, white windows, black windows, wood grain. Our experienced sales staff will help you choose what's best for you, provide a detailed proposal, and a firm price. No pressure, no nonsense. One window or a house full, call or visit the Board Store for a prompt free estimate. More than you expect for less than you thought.
I'm Jordan Rudolph, and I'm the owner of Unity Fitness. We just won Best Gym in La Crosse and Best Personal Trainer in La Crosse for the Best of in 2025. As our mission to serve and help have a positive influence on so many people, we can't thank you enough, the voters, for having our back and helping us spread that mission forward into helping more people in the area.
Thank you so much for trusting us with your goals and for 10 years of support.
We view people as more than a before and after. To see if you're the right fit for us or if we're the right fit for you, head over to unityfitnesspro.com and book your free discovery call with us today.
I have active psoriatic arthritis, but with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready for this moment. Along with clearer skin, Skyrizi helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And it's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Get the freedom to save. Get $4,250 cash allowance on this Silverado. Plus, $2,250 in trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP.
so that no matter what mess you brought into this church today, no matter what addiction and what struggle, no matter how many times you've doubted God or questioned God, that because of Jesus Christ, God's not holding it over your head. Instead, there is this amazing grace, there is this unconditional love that you and I can say, God doesn't just put up with us. God loves us.
Join Pastor Mike Novotny each Sunday. Watch Time of Grace on Channel 8, WKBT.
Okay, when I last left you here, we were talking about this rainfall moving over the same locations going into the 11 o'clock hour for Wednesday tonight. That will continue all the way to the midnight hour, and all the way by 3 o'clock you're seeing that rainfall still coming in, but it is breaking down as it does. Once we get into the 6 o'clock hour, well, we're looking at more rain coming back into the forecast area. Black River Falls, Eau Claire, all the way down to Winona, holding on to La Crosse as well with a little touch of that. You'll see that go a little bit wider, and that's going to get La Crosse for sure as we finish out the 8 o'clock in the morning. So the early to mid-morning hours is going to be wet for us for tomorrow. We'll go into it with that rainfall passing out of the area as we go right into the 11 o'clock hour. A bit of a break rolls in, then some light showers come back again, picking up as we go into the early afternoon hours. We're up and out of that, but we'll also see more rainfall coming back again by the 6 o'clock hour. So limited amounts of rainfall from what we saw over the last couple of days here now, last few days. Picking up now the light to heavy rainfall moving in the picture there from Prairie du Chien all the way into La Crosse. That continues to just track all the way to the 8 o'clock hour, so that's going to be with us for a couple of hours, and then continue to drive all the way through the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock hour, and we should be done. We'll see again half the region is in drier conditions, and of course dry conditions will actually help us out as we go through the next couple of days by going into Friday with a little bit extra sunshine in the forecast. In fact, temperatures, or I should say, conditions will increase as far as rain is concerned today and Thursday, as you can see here. By the time we go right back into Sunday, we're looking at a little bit of rainfall coming in Saturday night to Sunday, and then we're done for a while. Of course, we go into drier conditions for next week. Future rain, though, over the next 7 days is looking at maybe 6 inches. Down to about a couple of inches in your forecast. Thursday does have a low risk for severe weather. We are holding on to that south of Eau Claire and working southward down through the region. We'll pick up highs for Thursday today, or tomorrow I should say. Lighter rainfall, but we're going to see some good looking storm activity from time to time. Temperatures in the 60s, 70s to the middle to upper 80s. Heavy rainfall possibility, that means flooding possibilities will continue, and that also means river flooding will also be exacerbated going towards your weekend. So that's all due to the heavy rainfall. We'll continue on. We can see the yellow, the Kickapoo, the Black River, the Minor, holding on to Mississippi. That'll go for a slow rise to action as we get closer to the weekend. And keep an eye on the small creeks to watch for rapid rising in the forecast zones as well. We'll hold on to more rainfall. As I mentioned, by Friday, you'll see a little bit of dry conditions coming in. Once we go into Friday afternoon, some slight rainfall tries to move in the picture, but it's a limited amount. It's only about a 10% chance. We'll roll into Saturday with a little bit of light rainfall going towards Eau Claire, getting down into areas by Minnesota, clearing out the skies, giving you some sunshine, then going back to 10 o'clock with rainfall coming back again, going widespread up to the north along I-94. As that happens, and Sunday rolls in, and then we see some heavier rainfall popping through the picture, and that's going to be widespread for everybody with storm activity in that as well. So we go into the next few days, as I mentioned before, holding on to the possibility of, again, 70s to 80s, and then upper 80s by the weekend for both days, storm activity, and then dry conditions with the middle 80s and quite comfortable conditions in your forecast. Back to you.
In your Morning Buzz report, in New York, the Sean Diddy Combs trial is now winding down. Both the prosecution and defense rested their cases yesterday. The jury has now heard more than 6 weeks of testimony from 34 government witnesses, including ex-girlfriends, former employees, and law enforcement. Combs is pleading not guilty to charges including sex trafficking and racketeering. 60s and 70s pop sensation and actor Bobby Sherman has died at the age of 81. Sherman had several top 10 hits and also played the youngest of 3 brothers on the popular TV series Here Come the Brides. His wife announced he had stage 4 cancer in March.
They say that these are not the best of times, but they're the only times I've ever known.
The life and times of Billy Joel are chronicled in a new 2-part documentary, Billy Joel and So It Goes. Part 1 will debut July 18th.
We're taking landmark criminal cases and recreating them using our own trial lawyers and yours truly as the judge.
Justice on Trial features Judge Judy with court reenactments and news footage examining some of the most impactful trials in history. Court's in session July 21st. Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8. We've got Russell turning 88. He loves old-time country music, scratch-offs, and his two cats, Tubi and Meow. And Hayden is turning 8. He loves to help on the farm, playing sports, and being a great big brother. Happy birthday to both of you. Our music's not working today. You'll just have to sing along. And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them. Just upload their photo to our website. And stay with us. We have everything you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is coming up.
River City Grill in Winona is your place for great food and drinks every night of the week. Wednesday is wing night at River City Grill. 5 delicious wings for only $5. And $1 off all domestic beers. See you soon at River City Grill in Winona.
A great percentage of what we do at the Pump House Regional Art Center is impacted by tourists. When tourists come to the La Crosse region, it benefits everyone. They seek out many opportunities to experience theater, concerts, outdoor, wildlife, dining. It connects us all.
The Power of Tourism, brought to you by Explore La Crosse.
It's here, the 4th of July sale at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. It's the perfect time to save with store-wide sale prices, 48-month special financing, and free gas. Only at Drury's will you find beautifully tailored sofas and chairs, handcrafted bedrooms and dining rooms, a huge selection of premium leather, and the designers to help you put it all together. Great sale prices, 48-month special financing, and even free gas. The 4th of July sale happening now at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota.
Summertime is here, and the Ford lineup is ready to take the stage. Lights, summer, action. Save big with great offers on your favorite Ford SUVs. Then seize the season. From America's all-time best-selling SUV, Explorer, to the built wild family of Broncos, your local Northland Ford dealers are rolling out the red carpet with exclusive deals across our full lineup of SUVs. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Don't wait. Last chance to get employee pricing plus $3,900 for 72 plus $4,000 mega bonus cash on Bronco. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Birthday cake Wurzel. Wow, this is so good. What's it called? A Whizzle? Espresso Wurzel.
Thank you. Tastes just like a coffee shop. I love Wurzies.
Door County Cherry Wurzel.
Yum! These whirlies are amazing.
Did someone order a dill pickle Wurzel?
That's mine. It's a Wurzel. Delicious.
River City Grill in Winona is your place for great food and drinks every night of the week. Wednesday is wing night at River City Grill. 5 delicious wings for only $5. And $1 off all domestic beers. See you soon at River City Grill in Winona.
What is a hero? Not the kind from comic books and movies saving the day. We're talking about everyday heroes, those with a special kind of courage or ability, those saving the day, one person at a time. News 8 Now wants to find those heroes and thank them for bettering our community. Go to news8000.com, click on Features, then Hometown Heroes to nominate someone you feel is truly a hometown hero. Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back. It's time to celebrate a Mississippi River favorite, National Catfish Day. Look at that. The freshwater fish get their name from prominent barbels that look like cat whiskers. That guy's got a big pair. These nocturnal swimmers have no scales and are an excellent source of vitamin D. You can celebrate by posting pictures of your biggest catch. Just don't put it on your dating profile, please, or maybe your favorite catfish dish with the hashtag National Catfish Day. Time for your morning news now. President Trump arrived in the Netherlands for a crucial NATO summit as Middle East tensions explode. The two-day summit will focus on the Israel-Iran conflict and the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. The high-stakes meeting comes one day after Trump's ceasefire announcement between Israel and Iran quickly fell apart. Stay with News 8 for the latest on the Iran-Israel conflict. You can track all the breaking developments on air and online. Your drinking water just got better protection from the Wisconsin Supreme Court. The court ruled that the DNR can keep requiring polluters to clean up toxic PFAS chemicals and other dangerous substances.
It's the distance between the time when you discover contamination and the time when you can fully implement your long-term permanent solution.
The town of Campbell hopes to have its new municipal well up and running in 2 years. Governor Evers praising the ruling, saying polluters won't have free rein to discharge harmful contaminants like PFAS without taking responsibility. Rural La Crosse home could be worth more money. City assessors just updated property values for the first time since 2022. La Crosse's assessed values were too low at only 83% of market value, when state law requires 90 to 110. The higher assessment doesn't automatically mean your property taxes will increase.
All right, heavy rainfall possible today as we get into it, with more rainfall coming back again for Thursday. That also means river flooding will be a possibility as we head closer to the weekend. And of course, if you're trying to mow your lawn, well, today and tomorrow, not the great times to do it, but you get into Friday, you have a chance of that happening. 70s back in the picture, and of course, 83-degree temperatures for the warmest high. We'll get into, again, 90% chances of rainfall for today and tomorrow. A break on Friday. Saturday, you might have some nighttime showers going into Sunday with a 70% chance of storm activity coming the way, and then drier conditions for next week with near average temperatures. Back to you.
All right, looking good out there, especially next week. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, Art. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. Coming up at noon today is the 28th annual Explore La Crosse Day with the Milwaukee Brewers. We'll have a look at the fans hitting the roads live at noon.